What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with the one, the only Dilly Vanilli, and we are here to count down the 10 worst games of the 2018 NFL schedule. Games that just want to make you tear your hair out of your head. They want to make you fall asleep during the first quarter. They want to make you just take a nap. And Dylan, we did the top 10 best games of 2018. Those are games that are super exciting, like truly anticipated. But these games are the opposite of that, you know, and these are games that you just don't want to have anything to do with. So this was probably more difficult than picking the teams that were the good games. This is just like, I feel mean doing this, Dylan. Am I the only one here?
Well, there's more negativity coming this way. I mean, this video with the top 10 best games, we were so positive. I know fans will be like, whoa, this doesn't happen often. But then we got to go over here and be like twice as negative as we usually are, which is saying something. So, yeah, I mean, these games were harder. I only got to 15 games instead of 42 on the best games. But I just felt like, God damn, I'm seeing this team a lot. I'm seeing this team a lot. Feel kind of bad. But at the same time, I'm looking at these games like, I don't care about any one of them. So number 10, I actually have a team in the number 10 spot that I don't feel good putting on this list because they're a way better team than everybody else on this list, but there's a reason for it. At number 10, I have the Week 3 Monday Night Football matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Not even on my list. So this is good off to a good start. Continue.
All right. I like it. The reason I have this on this list, very simple. Jameis Winston is not starting, and it's in primetime football. I don't want to watch a primetime game with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry. I know people are going to dislike me for that kind of stuff, but I don't want to see Ryan Fitzpatrick versus Ben Roethlisberger in a head-to-head matchup. I feel like the Steelers are going to absolutely dominate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for me, another reason I put this game on there is because a lot of these games I feel like are two teams that are going to be pretty bad, and it's just not going to be a competitive game. I considered maybe putting some games on there where there's just going to be blowouts. But this is the one game I feel like this team, the Steelers, are going to absolutely dominate the Buccaneers and destroy them on the field. And there's not going to be much of a game here. It's just going to be one of those, hey, like remember when John Gruden and Mike Tirico made smoothies at the end of one of those games?
Oh, geez,
it's going to be like one of those.
That was the Panthers-Eagles game like 3 years ago. I still remember that.
It's going to be like one of those games. I have a feeling. I know they're not there. But neither of them are there anymore. But like, it's going to be one of those matchups. I just don't care. So number 10, Steelers Bucks.
And I think that's the exact same for my number 10. I found reasons to keep certain matchups off the list. Like, we're not going to have the same matchup on the list twice. So if there's two teams playing each other, let's say it's a divisional matchup and they both stink, or we think they both stink and they play twice in the season, we're not putting them on the list twice. And also week 17 games that we think won't matter at all aren't going to be on the list as well. Just putting that out there. But my number 10 is week 3 as well, but it's not the Monday Night Football matchup. It's actually the Broncos at the Ravens. And the reason why it's the Broncos at the Ravens is because I just feel like this is going to be the most boring game, one of the most boring games of the season. I mean, just like it's week 3, so it's going to be no Lamar Jackson, okay? Bradley Chubb is just going to be sort of coming into his own. I mean, Lamar Jackson might get 2 plays or whatever, but like the only hope for Lamar Jackson on the Ravens is going to be later in the season anyways. So we have Joe Flacco versus Case Keenum. The strengths of these teams are their defenses, okay? So the game is going to be like 9-6, 12-9, I don't know, something like that.
No touchdowns.
And it's just going to be a battle of the kickers, battle of defenses. It's just going to be a dull, boring game. This game like 5 years ago would have been lit, right?
Yeah.
But this year, it's just boring. It's going to put me to sleep. I don't have really any interest in either of these teams. And I think a big reason why that is these aren't teams that are great, and these aren't teams that are really bad. They're just sort of in the middle, and that to me is boring. So that's why it's at number 10.
Okay, I didn't even consider this game, so that's another good start. Actually, remember that was a 2012 AFC divisional game that decided, who got to go to the Super Bowl basically, because Broncos almost had it.
How far Joe Flacco has fallen. Number 9.
Playoff Joe. Number 9. This is a game me and Mitch joked about earlier. I thought it was going to be higher on this list, but I found 8 games worse. At number 9, week 3, going back to the same week as I had number 10, but it's the Thursday night football matchup, Jets and Browns here. Mitch did a little selling for me to put this list.
It's on my list, and it's high.
Oh, you sold it for me, and I got to put it back? Okay. The reason I have this at number 9, though, is because, I mean, you're looking at these two teams. The Jets, I don't really know. I really did rag on them on their offensive positions at receiver and running backs. That's not a good start for me personally. And the QB situation, week 3, I don't expect Darnold to be playing. I don't know. I feel like Bridgewater and McCown's going to be at the QB position. Basically, the best thing going for them is their defense, which is young, and they got some big players in free agency. That could be something. For the Browns, their offense got better, but I just don't think these two teams clash very well. And again, this is another primetime matchup. So when I look at primetime matchups, like we were talking about the Packers and the Patriots, like, damn, a lot of people are going to want to see that. No one on God's green earth is going to pay, like, if they had to pay money to go watch the Jets and the Browns. I'm sorry. I know the Browns got better, but it's not going to be a good one-on-one matchup. So I got Jets-Browns at number 9.
At my number 9, this might shock some people. I have the week number 4 matchup of the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow. Not even close to my list. Wow. Okay.
The reason why, okay, I know it's week 4, so it's still early in the season, but I think both of these teams aren't going to be very good. And I think that every time they play, the game hasn't been entertaining. I mean, when's the last Cardinals-Seahawks game that was actually entertaining? It's rather been a blowout for Seattle, or that 6-6 kicker miss every field goal game.
That game was terrible, by the way, until the fourth quarter. I want everybody to understand.
Yeah, it was the worst game of the year until fourth quarter and overtime, and that's just because the kickers kept missing.
Oh my God.
So, like, when I'm thinking about this matchup, it's two teams that have not had good games historically, even when they were good.
Yeah.
And now they're bad, and they're going to be playing each other. Like, sure, you have David Johnson, you have Russell Wilson. That's all fun and dandy. But everything else, I mean, is just not very exciting to me. And I'm not hyped on either of these teams this year. I understand if you're a Seahawks fan, you're going to get angry at this one. But, I mean, I'm just not excited to see you guys play Arizona. There's other teams I'm excited to see you guys play, like the Cowboys, for example. But I'm not excited for you guys to watch the Cardinals and you guys. Sam Bradford, really? Come on. That's why they're at number 9.
Sam Bradford. I mean, the one thing I took into the consideration of this list is star power. And I feel like that game has a little bit more star power than anything, at least with Wilson and Johnson there. But my number 8 here, we're going to go to week 5. This is a team that I have. One of these teams is on here 3 different times. And I just don't see a lot of things going for them. At number 8, I got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I'm also very low on I'm low on both of these teams. I don't think they're going to do very well. I have a lot of questions about Miami. Is Tannehill going to be the QB? This is going to be the last year. The offense is very questionable. The running game I did think was underrated, but I don't know how much of an impact they're going to play on this game. And I don't know about the receivers. Devontae Parker, I still don't think has proved himself to be a first-round pick. Defensively, I think there's some good talent. But the Bengals, man, I think the Bengals are going to be utter trash this year. I know people have told me that's going to be wrong, but what is there to see? Like, Andy Dalton played terrible last year. The only reason he saved his own ass is because he played well the last quarter of the season, like at least better than the first 4 games of the year, which were statistically, like, historically bad. The run game I think is okay, like Joe Mixon. Defense, they're either old or I don't care about them. I'm just going to be honest. Most of them I do not care. This is a matchup that I would look on the week 5 schedule and I'm like, why on earth would I pick this as my game? Why would Fox or CBS pick this as my game of the week? I would be pissed if I had to watch this. So Dolphins, Bengals, number 8.
Yeah, I considered that one, but it didn't make my list.
No? Okay.
At number 8, I have a game that it's kind of different than the ones I brought up. The ones that I brought up have been just ones I don't really care, and they're sort of boring. This one I feel can be 2 things. Okay. It's rather going to be a straight up blowout by one of the teams, or it's going to be super defensive and like it's going to be an upset. Okay.
Let's see what this would be.
Number 8, the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars, Week 13. This is rather going to be a complete blowout by the Jacksonville Jaguars, like 40-0, or it's going to be 9-6 for the Colts.
Wow, that's a drastic difference in scores.
Because you can't predict the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had to make it once on this list because they're going to have some bad games. Like they're going to have some games where you don't want to watch. And then the Colts is luck. I'm assuming he'll probably be in the lineup by now. I don't know. But the rest of the Colts team is not good. And they're not really exciting, especially their defense. So and I don't think the Colts are going to be very good. So I mean, the Colts are going to be on this list a couple more times. But Jacksonville, they're going to have a stinker, and it could be against the Colts. And if it's not a stinker, it's going to be a complete blowout. So that's why I think it's going to be a bad game. That's why I have it at number 8.
I think you with the same mentality as I had for number 10 with my Steelers-Bucks pick. But
yeah.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Because that's the same thing with the Steelers. They could like play a really bad game like they typically do against bad teams, and then win at the end by a field goal, and it still suck as a game for entertainment value.
They did that a lot last year. It was very strange. Yeah, you're gonna see the Colts a lot on my list. And speaking of the Colts, at number 7, I'm gonna go to Week 12 here. Miami Dolphins at Indianapolis Colts. Yes, the Dolphins once again. Again, like I got to say with the Miami Dolphins, I just don't think there's a lot of energy around this team. I feel like this is just one of those teams where I find middle of the road. They could either like
Miami Dolphins. I'm
very excited about that every video. I don't understand it. They're either going to be a team that's like 7-9, 8-8, really falls in the middle between terrible and like playoff contention, or they're going to be shit and like 4-12, 3-13. I don't really know what team I'm going to see. Colts. Has Luck thrown a regular size football yet? I don't even know. And it's
through
July.
College ball.
Woo! It's July, man. He's not even ready. Like he can't even throw a football. He hasn't taken any hits. He hasn't had any practices, anything like that. There's so many questions about him, and like Mitch said, there's nothing good about this team. Like absolutely nothing about this team. If I had to rank them right now, I think they would be in the bottom of my power rankings. There's nothing else to offer on this team. So that's my number 7, Dolphins Colts.
At number 7, I have your Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Cleveland Browns in week number 16. So keep in mind, these two teams won't have anything to play for, in my opinion, in week 16. But the reason this is not higher is because Baker Mayfield may be playing in this game. That's why I have it at number 7. So, I mean, there might be a little bit something exciting for the Cleveland perspective. Cincinnati at this point will probably, in my opinion, they'll be better than what Dylan says. I think they'll be somewhere between like a 6, 7, 8 win team, but they'll just be like at that point where they're not in playoff contention, but they're not bad enough to go for like the first pick. So they're just going to be in the middle of no man's land. And for Cleveland, I mean, I don't think they'll be in playoff contention, and they'll probably be at the point where they might be willing to give Baker Mayfield a shot. And I think they still have a lot of young players, so you might see them kind of do some things different with their lineup. That might be the reason why it's maybe a tad bit more exciting than some of these other games. But it's still a terrible game. There's going to be nothing on the line. It's the Battle of freaking Ohio, and nobody has cared about this matchup in years.
Don't worry. You'll see this game further on my list. I put it higher. But yeah, I'm okay with that at number 7. At number 6, wow, we got to go talk about those Colts. It's a week 16 matchup between the Giants and the Colts.
Wow. I didn't have the Giants on my list at all.
This is the only time I have the Giants on the list.
Okay.
And the reason I have them here at number 6 is because, well, it's pretty much the same reason you have. It's no man's land. These teams are not going to be in playoff contention. And week 16, you want to see, who's going to be near the division of the NFC North? Like, that's a really good division. AFC North could have some people. AFC South, AFC West. Neither team are going to be competing in their own divisions. I'm going to be honest with you. And it's going to be one of those games where I want to see some intriguing matchups to get ready for the playoffs, and if there's a team that needs to win. And the Giants, I feel like are going to be 7-9, somewhere around there. I think they'll be better than last year, but I don't think they'll be making the strides to go to the playoffs. And the Colts will be one of the worst, if not the worst team in the league. So no playoff contention, no hype, no atmosphere surrounding this game. So I got that at number 6.
At number 6, this is sort of a random matchup, but it's a Thursday nighter at week 7. Denver Broncos versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
I brought these teams up twice. These are the two teams to me that they just bore me to death. I don't like anything about these teams.
Not even the defense of those Broncos.
I like the Broncos defense, but I'm not going to sit there and watch the Broncos defense. You know what I mean? They're not at the level of the Jaguars defense where it's exciting to watch. They're under that, where it's just excruciating to watch the opposite team's offense, which is going to be the Cardinals in this game, where Sam Bradford will probably be hurt. Thus, maybe Josh Rosen will be in this game, so I should give them that. It's week 7. Maybe Bradford will be there, maybe not. But then you have Case Keenum on the other side, who honestly doesn't really excite me much. The Broncos don't have much in terms of the run game. The Broncos could be better than I really think, and they're one of those teams that you don't really know their expectation, but I just think this game is going to be really, really low scoring because I think both of their defenses are stronger than both of their offenses. And in this case, I don't think the coaching matchup is very sexy at all. And I just think it's a game that's boring and it's going to put you to sleep on a Thursday after a short week where these teams don't have much time to game plan. The players are tired. They're not really into the game. And it's going to be between two teams that are 2-5 or something like that. So I'm not really into it.
I did not even consider that game. I put it number 12 in my Thursday Night Football rankings. So
wow.
Yeah, I put it quite a bit high on my but not quite a bit high, but a couple spots higher.
I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion on these teams. I just feel like they're boring to me.
Number 5, it's the Colts in week 6 versus the New York Jets.
I have this one on the list.
You don't?
I do.
Or do? Okay. This game is awful. I mean, let's talk about this. At week 6, is McCown the quarterback freaking dirt? Is Bridgewater the QB? I don't like that situation. Imagine if we had a QB matchup, right, between McCown and a guy that can't throw a football in luck. That sounds awful. I don't care if McCown did great last year for however he played. He's getting a year older and he's about to retire. That's defense, I guess, is the best thing about this game, but is that a compliment? I don't think that's much of a compliment. The Colts offense is woeful. Do we even know anybody in the front 7 of the Colts defense? Probably not. So this game just has a bunch of no names, and it has the potential just to have the worst star power of any game. There's nothing to grasp my attention to, and I feel like this could be 6-0, 7. Maybe somebody scores a touchdown, but nothing exciting. It's honestly a boring matchup. Some of these could be bad, but I feel like this is going to be boring. So that's my number 5.
Okay, at number 5, I have the one you previously mentioned, the Jets versus the Browns on Thursday Night Football, week number 4. The reason why this is an interesting pick here at number 5, because there's a lot of different situations you need to take into account. If the Jets start off really well in the season, then all of a sudden this game is somewhat entertaining and exciting. If they start out really poorly, then it's probably what we're going to get, which is why it's at number 5. But you're at the point here in week number 4 where you're not going to get the rookies in. So it's still going to be Tyrod versus McCown, Bridgewater, take your pick. And then it's going to be, the one exciting part about this is maybe Josh Gordon versus Jermaine Johnson or something like that. I don't know. Other than that, I don't see anything exciting about this because this is at the point in the season, week 4, where you still have a bit of hope here, or your hope, and this is the game that confirms the loss of hope. Yeah. So week 4 is an interesting week. And that's why it's not a little bit higher or a little bit lower on this list, but it's right here in the middle at number 5.
That's fair. I mean, this is a game we agreed on, so it definitely deserves to be on the list. At number 4, look who's back. It's the Colts. It's the Miami Dolphins.
This one was really close. I would say this was probably like number 11.
Number 11? Okay. I
Yeah.
got to hear number 4, so it's a little bit higher. Dolphins and Colts. Again, I feel like I've talked about these two teams enough. But in this game for me, it's just like, what am I expecting to see? Like, do I want a run game? I'm not going to get any run game from the Colts. Let's be perfectly honest. That's absolutely atrocious. The Dolphins' run game might be the only thing I could to look forward to. Maybe Ryan Tannehill does something against this defense, but again, it's another matchup here in Week 12, right? This is where I think the Colts are obviously going to be out of playoff contention, and the Dolphins are just going to be hovering around there, maybe looking for a victory to help them up in the rankings. But nothing screams like, damn, this is going to be a burner. Like, this is going to be 28-24 kind of game. This screams like Dolphins win 17-0 game. And who in the hell wants to see a 17-0 game? I hope no one does. So this is just one of those matchups that never intrigues me. There's not a lot of people that can be like this has, again, another game like the Colts-Jets that has no star power in it. And not intriguing whatsoever. So number 4, Dolphins Colts.
Okay, at number 4, this game, excruciating just to think about. Week number 7, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts.
I didn't put this on the list. I considered it though.
This is just. We have think about this. This probably should be higher. Just me thinking, just popped in my head. This is the worst offense in the league versus the worst defense in the league. Is it not?
Yeah, it really is.
This is going to be pretty bad. I don't have to say anything else. And I don't know if Luck's going to be playing. And I don't know if Josh Allen's going to be playing either. So if that's the case, it's going to be even worse.
Fuck, I didn't even put this game on there. Maybe I should have. That is a terrible game. At number 3, this is a game that Mitch already mentioned. It's the Week 16 matchup between the Bengals and the Browns. Browns only got 2 games on this list, so congratulations. An 0-16 team. You thought would have done more, but offseason-wise, they did good. Again, these two teams are nowhere near playoff contention at this point. I feel like it's going to be just a really bad clash of styles between the two teams. The Bengals, I think Andy Dalton is atrocious. We saw it last year. I think he's digressing. I hope this is – I'm not saying I hope because I don't want anybody to lose their job. But I feel like this is going to be his last year just because of his play. Marvin Lewis is a terrible head coach. What more do I got to say? I feel like the Browns could do something, get the fans a little bit excited. And like you said, the interest of Baker Mayfield here in Week 16 could be a good little thing to add to this game, and maybe not at number 3, but I had to put it here because neither team are going to be at this position, playoff position. So number 3.
At number 3, you probably don't even have this on your list, but once I explain, maybe you'll understand. Tampa Bay versus Cincinnati, Week 8. The reason why. Okay. Think about Tampa Bay's opening schedule. Okay, you have the 3 games of death. So they're going to be 0-3.
Oh, terrible.
4th week, Jameis comes back. They play Chicago. Probably 0-4. So they're at 0-4. Say they drop one of the next. They probably have a bye somewhere. I don't know where their bye is. They probably are sitting at 1-2-6. Okay. Cincinnati, maybe they're 3-5. Okay. It's week 8. 3-5, 2-6, 2 teams that have nothing really exciting to offer here. Just 2 teams again in the middle of the pack. Jameis, who the hell knows what's going on entertainment. Andy Dalton maybe hitting the bench soon enough. Hugh Jackson, thinking about getting fired. And I just don't see it. Both coaches could be on the hot seat here. I don't know. It's just a really mediocre to bad. It's just 2 teams that are going to be in a bad spot in their season with a lot of things going on personally in their own environments that doesn't really clash well on the football field. I just don't see this working out to an exciting game. That's why it's at number 3.
Okay. No, I like the pitch there. I can see where you're coming from there. Yeah, definitely not 2 teams I'm looking forward to watching. At number 2, This is an interesting one, right? It's at week 1. So this is the start of the year. You know, you would think
Wow,
this
I
game,
don't even have this. I didn't even consider a week. Did I?
do you not consider it week 1?
I did not consider a single week 1 game.
Now, it sounds ludicrous to put a week 1 game here, but at number 2.
Because I can't put a week 1. Like, it's going to be exciting because it's week 1, right?
Well,
no?
Well, it's the Bengals and the Colts week 1. And this game is going to be
Still, it's week 1.
I don't care if it's week 1. Neither team offers anything.
What if Jacoby Brissett goes out there and throws 5 TDs, bro?
Well, okay, look at this game, right? Look at for week 1, right? The NFL wants to build a great week 1. Get you out there with that hot-hitting action. Falcons, Eagles, Thursday Night Football. 49ers, Vikings. Texans, Patriots. You got a decent Sunday Night Football game between the Bears and the Packers. And then you got a Monday Night Football matchup between the Rams and the Raiders. Good shit to open the year. And then you hit us in the middle of the day with the Bengals and the Colts. Like, I know you can't hit every single game with a banger because not every team is going to be good, but you match 2 of the 3 worst teams in the NFL, in my opinion. And, like,
I don't think the Bengals are that bad.
I think they're that bad.
That's rough.
I think they're that bad. I think they're going to go 4-12. Right as of right now, I think they're going to go 4-12. That might even change. But there's nothing intriguing about this matchup. I know it's week 1, but just the expectations of week 1 and having these 2 teams go against each other and the Colts, I mean, not a good game for them. That's at number 2.
Okay, at number 2 for me, I don't know if you brought this up already. The Jets versus the Colts, week 6.
I did. That was my number 5.
Yeah, so, at week 6, you're like, still, is Luck going to play? I don't know. The Jets, they might be contemplating a quarterback switch at this point, but it probably won't be Darnold. Mm-hmm. And I think at this point in week 6, we'll be looking at both teams as being lackluster, not very good teams that are without a hope to make the playoffs. So we're just enough into the season to say these teams aren't good, and we're just enough to the close to the season to not really get a ton of excitement.
Yep.
So I think this is a perfect spot where this game is going to be absolute trash at number 2.
Absolute dumpster fire at number 2.
At number 1 for Dilly Madilly. You might have a game, or I might have a game on my list that's number 1 that's not even on your list.
Yes, I feel like that's going to be true. But I'm going to make you laugh here because at number 1, I've got the week 8 matchup of the Buccaneers and the Bengals. This is a game you didn't even think I had on my own list, and I got it here at number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was trying to hold in my little my level.
Wow, you sold that well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, this is my number 1.
I just didn't. I thought you would skip right over that one.
No, this is my worst game of the year. Like you said, the Bucs have the 3 worst games to start off their entire year without Jameis Winston. I don't think they were going to win any of them regardless, but they had at least like a 2% chance. Now they have a negative chance. So the Buccaneers are going to come out 0-3. Like I said, you're playing the Bears in week 4, so they're probably going to lose that game. They might come in here 1-6, somewhere around there, like you said, maybe 2-5. Bengals, I think it's a terrible team, like I've already said. Most wins I could see them having here is 3, but I'm going to probably say 2 at this point. So you got 2 teams that are at the bottom of their rankings at what I think coming into week 8. And Jameis Winston, I don't even know if he's going to be the QB week 8. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know if the Bucs can even trust him with this kind of scenario. And the Bengals have no offense to give me anything like stand out. These are 2 teams that are going to be not giving a shit at this point. Like they might already be tanking in week 8. So it's just a terrible clash of styles between 2 teams that are going to be near the bottom of their rankings in the middle of the year. Like who would want to see this in the middle of the year? It's the worst time for this game. So that's my number 1.
All right, ready for my number 1?
I'm interested to see what this is because I don't think it's on the list.
It's the New York Jets
mm-hmm.
at the Buffalo Bills. Week 14.
Wow. Worst game of the year, Jets.
Worst game of the year. Think about it. Week 14.
Mm-hmm.
Neither team is going to be in the playoff hunt. I'm saying that right now. Neither team are going to be in the playoff
Neither
hunt.
Team will be
Buffalo
in the
Bills. Buffalo Bills have the worst offense in the league.
Yes.
Jets don't have a quarterback. I don't think a touchdown will be scored in this game. And it's
Not
going to be
even
played in the
Shady?
snow.
Not even Shady McCoy
It's
is
going to be in the snow. It's going to be cold as shit.
Oh, God. It's like the Bills-Colts matchup.
It's rather going to be in the snow, or it's going to be in like the cold rain, or the fans are just going to be miserable.
I didn't even
no points. I don't even know if a point they might draw 0-0.
Zero tie. That'd be the worst 70 minutes.
This game is going to be absolutely horrendous.
All right, there you go.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this top 10 least favorite games, worst games of 2018. Let us know what you guys thought. What's the worst game of 2018? Mine is the Jets and the Bills in the snow, week 14. Dylan's is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Cincinnati Bengals, week 8. Let us know what you guys think. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you enjoyed and you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time here on The Bottom Line View. Peace out.
Peace.